What's in Vegas?
I heard there's something called SummerSlam.
Oh, that was a good way to do that. That was a good way to do that.
All right, I know that this is a story about brothers, and I know you have 4 of them, but what's the longest you've gone without speaking to one of your brothers?
Oh, the longest I've gone without speaking to a brother would only be because of my irresponsibility with communicating. And I would say 3 to 4 months, but we hold grudges, but we coexist. You know, growing up in a family of 5 in a relatively modest home, you couldn't take a vow of silence.
Right. Who was most excited out of your brothers? Because in this film, these brothers have not seen or talked to each other in quite some time, for good reason. When you go see the movie, you'll know. But which brother is the most excited? You're in a Fast and Furious film.
So the sad answer is me. My brothers, but this is a beautiful thing. My brothers are just hardwired to keep my feet on the ground, and it's that. I think may have something to do with like the Northeast culture of like you never get too big to forget where you are. So it doesn't matter what I do. They like, oh, you think you're better than me? And they'll always keep my feet firmly on the ground. And I'm very grateful for that.
Well, I've heard an interview before actually where you got a little emotional talking about your brothers, especially the one who's kind of on the front lines of everything we've been dealing with. So I appreciate that. Speaking of feet on the ground, in Scotland, you're not on the ground for part of it. I think it's the longest zip line I've ever seen, one that you create. But despite the stunt work, you know what I was most curious about? Haggis. What say you?
It's not bad. It's not bad.
I agree.
Yeah, I think it gets a bad rap. I think if you approach it more open-minded, I think it's not bad.
I'm going to remember that, actually. Approach it open-minded. That could be for any food you experiment with in a different country. Those scenes with you and Vin, you guys are right in each other's faces, and there have to be some takes where you're this close, you're about to spit on each other, and then one of you bursts out laughing.
No, actually, believe it or not, man, just the introduction of another Toretto family member, like everyone took that really seriously. And those dramatic moments that are there, they were really tense. And that speaks to Vin's level as a performer. Like he doesn't take a takeoff. Like especially when he knows Dom and the Fast mythology so well, I think he took it upon himself to lead by example and make me better. Like I really do think he did that for me. And I really do appreciate that, because we do have so much fun off behind the camera when everybody stops. Like it is a family, but he never once broke, and it made me better. Like I could never be elsewhere other than right there with him. And I really thank him for that.
That's great. It's interesting. I think I've talked to Joel Kinnaman more than any human being during this whole year of Zooming. I think I've talked to him 4 times, and he was already raving about how funny you are in your next film, Suicide Squad. Do you enjoy that, or do you like diving into kind of the more dramatic stuff as you do in here?
I think each one is a challenge. I think like improv work is fun because you can weave your own story. It's what I love most about the WWE. You have a physical performance where you control it based off of the noise you hear. Oh, I hear this, I should do this now. And improv is kind of the same way. You just take something and hopefully run with it into an entertaining capacity. But I also love the structure of drama, and I'm getting more and more obsessed with it. I love that. Like, and this film was a giant catalyst for that. Fast really helped me, where I didn't have to think of something witty to say or do some physical comedy. Like it wasn't needed. You just be Jacob and be Jacob the best you can. And it's gonna be all right, because the Fast universe is created that way. So they're just 2 different challenges. And I had a lot of fun with Joel improving on set for sure. But Fast there's very little, if no improv whatsoever, but it was still just as rewarding.
Wow, absolutely. I know they wrapped me. What will you be doing August 21st, just out of curiosity?
Hopefully enjoying the summer. I don't know.
In Vegas, perhaps?
What's in Vegas?
I heard there's something called SummerSlam.
Oh, that was a good way to do that. That was a good way to do that. I'm so sorry. I'm in the middle of filming Peacemaker. I'm talking to a lot of folks today. My
You're
mind
forgiven.
is a little bit scattered. What's that?
How great, though, if you divulge that news to somebody who doesn't know much about wrestling. That would be a pretty cool way to go about it, don't you think? Which means me.
To be able to bestow that gem upon you would be great, but
That's okay.
there's a lot going on.
I
don't want to create expectations I can't manage.
That's okay, and I appreciate you, and I'm sorry to put you in that spot. Thanks for your time.
No, it's okay.
Guys.
It's all right. Thank you.
Yeah, take care.